Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you play through a song called Thunder Rolls by Garth. We're going to end up caping this on 5th fret. We're going to kind of walk through a couple things and reposition. We're going to start on an A minor chord. We play A minor. First finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, and third finger on the G string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now, while you're on A minors in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the first finger and make that an A suspended second. Or you could take the pinky and kind of add it in on the B string on the 3rd fret, and kind of make that an A sus. So you're going to kind of play around with that for the A minor. And on the intro, actually, it's this really cool little arpeggio or broken chord. And if you wanted to kind of follow that lick, you could play the open A, and then second on the D, second on the G, 1st fret on the B, and then open B, and then second on the G, and then 1st fret on the B, and then second on the G, and then we do a hammer on the B string to kind of 1st fret from open to 1st, and then second on the D, G, and then second on the D. It's kind of one of the guitar parts, or kind of hybriding the two guitar parts. That might be kind of a cool thing to follow. But a lot of times with a song like this, I like to use something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So you took the A minor and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Which you could also use for your intro. Or you could just do downstrokes through that and kind of make it really sneaky. And you may want to kind of try some right hand muting, kind of land the flat of the right hand down on top of the saddle for that. Or you could add bass notes to the down, down, up, and make it an A minor with an A bass. Kind of have a bass, down, up, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. Or if you're digging on kind of working this as a fingerstyle, what you could do is the thumb kind of becomes your bass player. And what I think would be a really cool way to kind of work it is do an index finger on the G string, middle finger on the B string, and then ring finger on the high E string. It's kind of the setup with the thumb on the bass note. You could start out thumb, index, middle, ring, and then come back middle, index, middle. So it's almost like the fingers have a job to do, kind of playing their individual strings. And that can be a cool way to kind of work it. That can kind of take the place of the down, down, up, down, up, through the song too. So you want to kind of play around with that if you're kind of looking for an easy fingerstyle. And then from there, then we'd be going into our verse. And our verse starts on A minor, and we do more A minor. But then we go to an F major chord. We play F major. Normally you do this as a bar chord. We'll talk about an easier way to play this too, but you do your first finger across the entire 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the A string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major bar chord, and it sounds really happy. Now if you're just starting out, or you're just looking to kind of avoid bars, you could use an F major 7, where you do the first finger on the B string 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, and third finger on the D string 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7 chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the F on our verse, we'll be going to an E major chord. We play E major. First finger goes to the G string on the 1st fret, second finger on the A string 2nd fret, and third finger on the D string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the 3rd finger and making that an E7 chord. Or you could take the pinky and add it on the B string and kind of give it a little bit more bite. And then from the E, then we go back to our A minor chord. Kind of start that over. So you could kind of work the verses just kind of the A down idea if you wanted to. Or you could try the down, down, up, down, up through that part. Or you could add basses to that too, and I'll talk more about that later on. And then we got our E, A minor. So you have the A minor with an A bass if you're kind of digging on the basses. On the F bar you have low E for the bass. On the F major 7 you have the D for the bass. And on the E you have the low E string for the bass. Chorus, we go to a G major chord. We play G major. First finger goes to A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. And then from the G, you'll hear this cool little bass run where we go to 2nd fret on the low E string, to lead into an E major chord, and then we kind of do almost a stop time E, where you may want to kind of do it down and kind of kill it with the right hand. And then we go back into kind of an A minor, almost like our intro. So you'd have kind of that G, G, 2, E, and then you pick it back up on the A minor. And then we'll basically be repeating those parts until we get to kind of our bridge part. And our bridge starts on the F, and then we go to G major, and then there's this cool little push where you may want to do an A minor, and then a G, and then A minor, kind of downs through that part. And then we go back to F, G, and then an E major. And our F, G, but then we got our big push again. A minor, G, A minor, and then we pick it back up on F. Back into kind of our intro return. Now the weird part is, to play along with Garth Brooks, instead of starting on an A minor chord, he's starting on a D minor chord. So what you want to do to play along with the recording is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 5th fret, then now your A minor is really a D minor chord, and your F major is really a B flat major chord, and your E major is really an A major chord, and your G major is really a C major chord. But to take it from the very beginning, you can kind of work that A minor, and you can kind of work that as just a down idea, or the down, down, up, up, down, up can work, or you can add basses to that, or you can kind of follow that arpeggio, like kind of that. So that might be a cool way to enter the tune. Or you could kind of work to that fingerstyle, and we'll kind of work more on that in just a moment. So you may want to kind of play around with that too. From there, we'll be going into our verse part. And on our verse, we could do that with kind of that bass down, up, idea. And have the A minor, F, E major, Louis bass, and then E, A minor, our first chorus. So we have our G with Louis bass, and then G with a bass, down, up, and then you can throw in that second fret on the Louis string to lead into that E major with the bass. So that might be kind of a cool way to word that. It's kind of G with a bass, down, down, G with Louis bass, down, up to E, down, down, to E. And then we're back to our A minor. It's kind of our chorus tag at the very end. Way to kind of work it would be doing it with the fingerstyle, and you could kind of take that pattern that we were kind of working, kind of that thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, middle, with the thumb as kind of the bass idea, and you could kind of work it through the form that way. So you have the A minor, F, E major, Louis bass, our chorus part. So we can try that same way with kind of that G. You can throw that in if you want to. Let's see, G with thumb, index, middle, middle, index, middle, and then kind of half your pattern, middle, index, and then kind of bass note there. That's kind of a cool little way to do it. And then kind of E major, and you may want to kind of work all the fingers all together for that E push. And then from there, then we kind of hit that big push, kind of that A minor, G. A minor is kind of the tag to that chorus. And that leads us into our bridge part. And on our bridge, we could do that with kind of our strum pattern, have the F, G, and then our push, A minor, G, A minor, F, G, E major, minor, D, A minor, and then our F, and a big G, and then we back to kind kind of our intro at the end of that first chorus. Or if you're kind of digging on that fingerstyle idea, you could have the F, G, A minor, G, A minor. It's kind of working all the fingers all together for that part. G major, F, G, A minor, G, A minor, F, big G, and then we'd be back to kind of our intro. And you may want to kind of try that, kind of work into fingerstyle too. That might kind of feel a little bit better for you. And then from there, we'll be going into our next verse. Now, if you know other strum patterns or other licks around the chords too, you know, feel free to kind of play around with it and kind of make the tune your own too. Or you can even try that arpeggio idea with the pick too. You don't feel like you have to do that fingerstyle necessarily. If you want to kind of play around with kind of breaking up the chords with the pick, that could be another cool idea to kind of play around with, kind of see what you can say with the song that way. So we'll be going back into our chorus part. So we're going to do our G, G, and then we hit our punch again, kind of that A minor, G, A minor, and then we end up with kind of an A minor idea that same way, A minor, A minor, A minor, to lead into our last bridge. And we'll be back on the F, G, A minor, G, A minor, D, A minor, F, big G, and then we kind of end up back on kind of our intro for our outro. So we want to kind of bring back kind of that intro lick for the end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through and kind of easily fingers through Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks. So good luck!